Hi everyone and welcome to today's card. We're doing a congratulations graduation card, as you can see by the theme here, and for this week at Craftie Cafe. So I've pulled out some cute adorable stamp sets. This one here is from Fawn. I absolutely love it. The big scripty congrats die. This is so bold and flourishy. It's beautiful. I just love how bold this sentiment is. Now I've also brought this one from Waffle Flower. I love the various sentiments it accompanies with this congratulations sentiment. Now if you don't have that Lawn Fawn Cookies one, you can also pinch the cap from this W+9 Smart Kitty one, which I absolutely adore, and I have made another card which I'll showcase in the following week. So I've used this Wendy Vecchi and Ranger enamel accents. These are really, really opaque, and I really love how opaque they are compared to the Nuvo crystal drops, which I also love as well, but I wanted something a little bit more pop of color that was stronger. So I've started with the white top folding card base. This pretty much can essentially be a one-layered card. I just love how simple this card is by using some masking. Now I've brought in the Narwhal, that's how you say it, Lawn Fawn ink, and I've mounted the scroll on an acrylic block. Now if this is not the Narwhal, I can't see, it must be the Manatee actually, sorry. I love both grey inks in Lawn Fawn, so I've used the Manatee in this one. So I'm randomly stamping this scroll along the whole card. Now bear in mind I did double layers of the masking with the tape because I wanted to get as much of the edges into it as possible. So what I mean by that is you'll see me how I really try and use the edge of the masking tape so you can kind of see the crispness of the line when you peel it off, and it does make it look more, you can notice the line more in the masking, and you'll see it when I peel off the mask slowly. When I put this masking tape on, or washi tape on, I took some tackiness off by placing it on my arm and ripping it off like I'm giving myself a little wax job, but the more tackiness you remove, the less chance of it adhering to the white cardstock and peeling it off. And you'll notice I get a little bit picky towards the end. When I first start peeling it off, I was like, oh, I was cautious, and if I thought it was going to pick up and rip off some of the cardstock, I started on the other end, and you'll see that come about towards the end of this masking stage here. So as I said, there's no pattern that I'm really doing here. I probably should have paid more attention, but I didn't. And I just randomly stamped. I think, the more I think about it, the less fun it becomes for me, and therefore then if I suck the fun out of it, I don't enjoy the process as much. So here I am, taking my time, stamping randomly, all there. So once I've done the finish, and I've done this with the stamping, I slowly peel off the washi tape, and you see me, and I'm cautiously looking at it, and I just said, no, I'm going to start the other end, because the last thing I want to do is peel it up. So obviously it must have been less tacky on that end, on the other end, on the left hand side, so I've just wanted to do it that side first, and it turned out really well. So I was really happy that there was no ripping with this card, because I didn't feel like starting again. I mean, it's a very easy card, and it's very easily to be mass produced, but I thought, oh no, I didn't want to start again. So here I am being so cautious, and I was stoked that it happened according to plan. So you can see, because I took notice of how I was stamping, those lines were pretty crisp, and you can notice it more that it was definitely masked, which that's ultimately what I wanted to achieve. So here I'm going to show you this Lawn Fawn stamp set. I only end up using the cap, and I just thought I'd just show you by stamping the rest how cute this stamp set is. So you can totally make it your own. It's got like female and male glasses, and the sentiments are like you're one smart cookie, but these characters, like this is just adorable. And so I'm just brought in some pencils, colouring in pencils here. I've got the Prismacolor in the Noir, and for the first time I'm pencil blending. I know, I was really shocked that this was an option, but I had googled it, what else to do with my colouring pencils if I wasn't ultimately achieving that blending look, which I love. So I've just used I've gone to Eckersley, this one, to get this particular blending solution, and it was citrus turpentine. And apparently you can get this was recommended by my friend Therese Calvert, that you can get like the odorless one. I didn't see it as an option in stock when I went, and it really wasn't suggested, but I mean the citrus turpentine doesn't have that much of a strong odor to it, so I was actually okay with using it. However, if I had a choice the next time, I probably will choose the odorless, just so it doesn't, I mean, it didn't give me any headaches or anything, but I think, you know, the less I can smell of it, if it's not that glamorous, the better. So I finished colouring in. I wanted to have like a lighter shade towards the middle of this cap, and just kept it like almost like a grey tone by feathering my colouring. So I've just got like this paper stump. You can buy them in various sizes, and I just got a little one because it is a little image. I've put the solution in the cap, and I've just picked up the solution with my blending stump and just almost like recoloring over the top, but it just kind of takes that pencil look away and makes it look like a seamless color. I really like the look of this, and I reckon I'll be using this kind of method more often with my coloring. So to me it felt like another level of coloring, and I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun, and I can't wait to color more images. I just want to kind of dip my toe in and, you know, give it a go by doing something very simple, which I have done here. And so I've just brought in just a yellow pencil and just colored the tassel. I've die cutted this out, and at the same time I'm die cutting, I've used the MFT circles die, the stitched one I believe it is. And I'm just going to place this. I'm just trying to figure out the placement as well, and then I realized, oh, I've got to cut the sentiment as well, the Lawn Fawn congrats. I show that I cut one, however I ended up cutting 3 and stacking them on top of each other to get a dimension. And I've just used my matte multi-medium to adhere it all together, which I did off screen. And then I've got my glue dots here, and I'm just kind of figuring out how I want to place them. Do I want to make it the same as the first card that I initially showed you on the beginning of the video? And I did like it. I was thinking of using the scroll, but I didn't feel like the scroll had enough color in it, so I just wanted to end up using the cap again. But by all means, make it your own. I really love that, you know, that cutest little stamp set has options to make it funny and comical with the faces. It was just gorgeous. So the glue dots is going to help adhere this vellum down, because there's one thing I'm not really good at is hiding the adhesive on the vellum. So I try strategically to use adhesives that can adhere the vellums down without actually making contact on the vellum, so it can become transparent and you can actually see the glue. I try my best often, but you know, you could do what you do really. Now, this waffle flower sentiment on your graduation, VersaFine black ink, just stamping it on the bottom right of that mast centerpiece there. Now, I've brought in that enamel accents, and I've made sure I've squirted it first onto a scrap piece of cardstock there on the far right, because sometimes there's air bubbles, and what I do is I tap the bottle and then all the air comes to the top, and then when I first squeeze, most of that air comes out. So this is very liquidy to start off with. So really allow a good 24 hours, set it aside, don't even think about it, put it somewhere where you're not going to bump it, and then come back to it. And just to add a little bit of touch of the glossiness to the cap, I've just added some glossy accents to the cap just to make it a little bit shimmery in 3D. So that's the card. It's so simple but fun. I hope you enjoyed today's card, and don't forget to visit the other social media platforms for Craftie Cafe and myself.